Game 4 of the 2022 World Series, Houston versus Philly. And we're at the Philadelphia Stadium. Aaron Nola's pitching today. He's a lefty. He went 4 innings in Game 4. He starts out with a DA going against a ready. Altuve needs a 30 for a hit, 30 and below, and 39 for a walk and lower to 30. So we'll roll. Altuve is out already. That's going to be a K. 1 out. Taking on Pena now. He rolls 100. That's another out. So that's going to be a G3 for the second out. Oh, Hoskins scoops it up, runs over, and tags the base. Alvarez is up now, lefty on lefty, so it goes to a D12 for Nola. He rolls a 7. Let's roll a D20 for the hit. Rolls a 8. That's going to be a single, but he's got P++ power. And I believe that's going to take it up 2. +2, we're rolling on the hit table. That's going to take it up 10, 11. Yep, so that's going to be a single. If we have runners on there, we'll go two bases. So he gets on with a single. Brings up Bregman now. So we go back down to a D8, lefty on righty. Bregman rolls a 30, which is it's 26 to 37, so it'd be 27 to 37 for a walk. And that's what he's going to get, a walk here. So that moves Alvarez over to second. Bregman's on with a walk. Brings up Tucker now, lefty on lefty. So we're going back to a D12. And Tucker rolls with 2 outs. He rolls a 57, which is going to be an out. Would have been a productive out with only 1 out or 0 outs. So that's going to be a 5. That's going to be a 5-3. Out to first, and 5-3, that's going to be Bryson Scott picks it up and tosses it over to Hoskins for the 3rd out, the top of the 1st. So Javier is in now. He's Christian Javier pitching for the Astros. He starts off with a D12. He went 6th inning, and he's going to be taking on Schwarber, who's a lefty, so we're going to stay with the D12. Schwarber rolls a 30 right off the bat. 30, that's going to get him a walk, anything 23 to 32. So he's on with a base on balls. Brings up Hoskins now, which is a righty. So righty on righty goes up to D20. He rolls a 61, and it's a 5. So it's going to be an out. So it's a 5-3. So it's going to be the third baseman on a ball, and the infield. The runner at first is out. The batter is safe at first. It's going to be Bregman picking it up, tossing it over to Altuve for the 4th out on a fielder's choice for Hoskins. And that's going to be our 1st out. Realmuto's up, so he stays with the D20. And he rolls a 24. Realmuto's been pretty hot this series. That's a hit. That's a 0. Well, we got to roll D20. So let's roll the 20. Rolls a 15. That's going to be a double. And he's got an ST. I think that's just a speed. T, that's a tough. All right, so he gets a double. We got to check the defense of the left fielder. And that's going to be Aldamis Diaz, which has no traits. So we roll a D12. Rolls a 7. There's no change, so it's a double. And that's going to move Hoskins over to 3rd. Realmuto gets a double. Brings up Harper now. That goes down to a D12. Lefty on righty. Needs up to a 28 for a hit. He rolls a 71, which is going to be a plus out. Let's see. 1 out. He rolled a 1. That's a strikeout. So that's the 2nd out. He gets K'd. Harper. Been doing nothing for the Phillies. Now that brings up Castellanos, which we're going to go up to a D20, righty on righty. Javier, get out of this jam. Looks like he is. That's going to be a 65, a 7. That's going to be a fly ball to right field. Diaz catches the pop-up, and the inning's over. And that's our 1st inning of 6 for Javier that he's going tonight. So Gurriel's up. He's a righty on a lefty, so Nola's going to be staying at a D8. Rolls a 33. which he 29, so it's over. So that's going to be a K, a 2. First out. Now it brings up Christian Vasquez, the catcher. Another out, 60, 73. Rolls a 8. That's going to be a fly ball to center field for the second out. Diaz is up. Elvis Diaz. Rolls a 37, which 29 would have been a walk and under. So 4. That's going to be a 4-3 put out for the third out. And Aaron Nola goes 1, 2, 3 in the top of the second. So Javier's taking on Bohm. So ready on ready is going up to a D20. Yeah. And he rolls a 32, which is going to be a walk. So 29 to 32 is a walk. So Bohm's on. Bring up a lefty now. So he goes back down to a D12. Bryson Scott's up. He rolls a 68, which is going to be a productive out, but he rolled a 0 for the out. That's going to be a strikeout for Javier for the first out. Gene Segura's up now. He's a righty, so ready on ready. That's going to be a D20 still. Won't go back to a D20. He rolls. That's going to be an out, 80-something. For the second out, 3. That's going to be a G3. Hoskins. Sorry, to Gurriel. So he takes on a lefty, so he goes down to D12. And that's another out, 84-7. That's going to be a fly ball to left field for the third out. So Bohm stranded at first with no outs. And then 1, 2, 3 after that. All right, so Javier is out of there again. So that's his second inning, and brings up Nola again. He's taking on McCormick, so ready on lefty. So Chase McCormick rolls a 14. That's going to be a hit. Rolls a 9. It's going to be a single. Chase has no trait, so he's on with a single. So now we got Nola, a D8. He's a lefty taking on Altuve. Altuve rolls a 66, and that's going to be a productive out, but he strikes out. He Ks.
Tyson's career replay exclusively at /Deep's Gaming Channel.
Brings up Pena now, ready on lefty, and he rolls a 99, 5. That's going to be a high one, so showing an oddity. I'm not going to roll on the oddity. We're going to count that as 70 plus, so that's going to be a double play because he rolled a 5-3, and it's going to go 5-4-3. Pena into a double play for the second and third out, and Nola's skating through here right now in the first 3 innings. Javier goes up to a 12 again, righty, and he's taking on a lefty Schwarber, so he's at a D12. Schwarber's out with a K. First out. Hoskins up now. So he goes down to a D12. Well, we're at the D12. Righty on righty. D12. Right? And he rolls a 42, which is out of his range of the 33. So that's another K. We go to another, right? So righty on righty. Hold on, that's supposed to go up to a 20. Righty on righty. Rolls a 31 for Realmuto. That's going to be a walk. So 29 to 34 is a walk. And Realmuto's on again. Brings up Harper. Go down to a 12. Righty on lefty. And Harper fells again with an 80 with 2 outs with a 6. That's going to be 6-3. Pena to Gurriel. The third out. Javier gets out of the third inning. So we go back to Nola. This will be his last inning. He pitched 4 innings. A D8, taking on a lefty, so he's going to go up to a 12. So taking on Alvarez, who rolls a 32, and that's going to be a walk. 32 to 41 is a walk for him. Alvarez is on. That brings up Bregman. It's going to knock him back down to a D8, lefty on righty. Bregman with a big hit. 23, that's a hit. Roll the D20. Rolls 11. That's a single. He's got C+. That's a contact hitter. Stays there, so it's going to be a single. Alvarez to second. Bregman first. And we got man on first and second now with Tucker up on a lefty. So lefty on lefty. Take him up to a 12. And it's an 85. So that could be a double play. No, it's a strikeout. He wrote a 0. So that Tucker strikes out for the first out. Gurriel's up. He's a C+. Let's look what we can do with a C+. He's a contact hitter. On hits, on hit table, rolls a 1-2, batter doubles. Runners advance 2, do not roll for defense. +1 when rolling to bunt. +10 to his batter when rolling for a hit and run play. So rolling for a hit and run could be dangerous because you got to, but we're going to do it. So Gurriel gets up to a 34 for a hit and a 39 for a walk. He's got P-. -2 when rolling on the hit table. We're going to try it out. So first we got to do for a base stealing. All right, so the hit and run, how this works is Gurriel is going to get the +10 to each one, his batting target and his on base target. So he's a righty. Nolan goes down to a D8. We have to roll a D6. We roll an 8 for both runners. 1 through 3, the runner is out. 4 through 8, runner is safe. So Bregman would be out if this hit and run doesn't work. And an 8, Alvarez would be safe. All right. So let's roll. And he's got 11. That's going to be a hit. Let's see. Run on the chart. Okay, so we got 11. And we got to roll D. Let's see. It's a hit. Runners at first and third. Runner at first and second. So basically, that's all they're giving us. You don't get no extra benefit out of it. But I mean, come on, let's go. Let's see what he gets. 14. That's a single. Runners advance 2 bases. So with the hit, everybody's going to be safe. And then he's got a single out of it. Well, it's going to go down because of his modifier is a P-. He's going to go down 2 because he wrote a 14. It just keeps him in the single still. Runners advance 2. So with that, just move him up. Gurriel brings in the run. Gets the big hit on the hit and run. Astros call a hit and run with man on second and first. So he's going to get run. And it says runners advance 2. So, okay, Alvarez is going to score. Bregman's going to move over to third. And Gurriel is going to stay right there. So Gurriel brings in the first run. That brings up Christian Vasquez now. He's a righty. So that stays at a D8, right? Yep. So see if Vasquez can bring in a run. And he does. That's a 27. That's going to be a walk. 26, 28's a walk for him. So he's on. Bases are loaded now. Aldemus Diaz is up. He's a righty again. Aaron Nola in some trouble. Can he get out of the inning? No. Houston is hot right now. He rolls a 7. He rolls a 10. And that's going to be a single. Runners advance 2. So Diaz gets on. He brings in Bregman. Gary's going to come around also. Vasquez is going over to third. Big 3-run score right now. 3 runs have scored. Nola in trouble. That brings in Chase McCormick, who's a righty. We stay with the D8. And he rolls a 82, which is an out. He rolls a 6, so that's going to be 6-3. We're looking at a double play now. And that's going to get him out of the inning. So that's going to be a 6-4-3. That's going to get Diaz out at second for the second out. Third out. And that's that inning. And Nola is done, giving up 3 runs this inning. So that brings up Javier now. And he's a D12. He's facing a righty on righty, so he goes up to a 20. He's taking on Castellanos now. Philly's got to step up. And that's an out. That's a K here in the 4th inning for the first out. Going against another righty, Bohm. Stays at the D20. Bohm rolls a 9. And a 2. That's going to be a single for Bohm. He's on for the second time in a row. Taking on a lefty now, so drops him back down to his D12. Scott rolls a 54. That looks like that's a 6, so that's going to be a 9. So he's got 59, 65. That's going to be a productive out. He rolled a 9. That's going to be a fly ball. So Bohm's going to stay there, so he flies out to right field for the second out. That brings up Segura now, which is going to take to a D20. And that's going to be another out. That's going to be the third out. That's going to be a 4-3 out. The third out. Javier is cruising along. That's 4 innings. 3-0 Houston in game 4 here. So Nola's out. So that brings in Jose Alvarado. He's a lefty. He gets a D8. And he is taking on, he's a lefty, taking on Altuve. And Altuve is going to be out. That's going to be a 6-3 here in the 5th inning. He's taking on Pena. Same dice. Pena with a 22. That's going to be a hit. Rolls a 19. That's a home run. Pena just blasts one to the outfield. Pena with a big home run here in the 5th. I believe he hit a couple of them last time in the World Series, the real World Series. He had a couple of big time homers, and Pena comes through to put them up 4-0. A big shot. And that brings up Alvarez now, lefty on lefty, and that's going to be a lefty on lefty. He's going up to D12. That's going to be a 24. That's going to be a hit for Alvarez. Let's see what hit he gets. A 5. That's a single. Defense. Well, he's going to get +3 to that. So he's got a single. So we got to roll for the defense, the third baseman here. Boom. And we roll a D12 on that one. And we get an 8. So that's going to be no change. So Alvarez is on with a single. Past Bohm. That brings up Bregman now. That takes Alvarez back down. Eldorado back down to an 8. And Bregman's up. And he rolls a 94, which is going to be a out. That could be a double play. What's a 1? That's a strikeout. So that's for the second out. Taking on Tucker now. He moves up to a D12. He rolls a 9. That's a 4. That's a 4-3 out to end the inning. Third out. And that's Alvarado's inning. He's done. We go to the 5th inning. Javier's still in. D12. He's at the D12. Taking on a lefty. Marsh. Brandon Marsh is up. So Marsh gets a 24, which is going to be a hit, I believe. Let's see. K+. It's a 1 to the 24. Got a 24, so that's -1 to his batting. So he still gets the hit. Let's see what hit Marsh gets here. Rose a 18. That's a double Marsh gets. Let's see. He's got a C minus. -3 to his batting when runners on second or third. So he's just, nothing affects him on that one. So he's still going to get his double. No runners on. Marsh comes through with a big double. And can the top of the lineup do something for him besides Realmuto? And that's going to bring up Schwarber, who's a righty. So a D12 still. Schwarber rolls a 56, which is an out. It's a productive out, but it's a 2. That's a strikeout. That's a K. We'll go to Hoskins now, which is a D12. Nope, it goes up to a D20. That's the first out. And he rolls a 72, which is an out. Another K. And he goes against Realmuto now. Rolls a 47, which is an out. So it's a 5. That's going to be a 5-3 out for the third out. And Javier's got one more inning. And Marsh is stranded on second base with no outs. Top of the lineup could not come through. Houston in the 6. Gurriel. And Andrew Bellotti is in for an inning. He's a D8. He's a righty. He pitched 1 inning. He's taking on a righty. So he goes up to a 12. Taking on Gurriel. And that's an out. That's a strikeout for the first out. Vasquez is up now. He rolls a 19, but he's got K plus power. So it's 1 to his batting, which is not going to affect that any. And his CN minus is +3 to OBT. So that's a 6. So that's a single. Let's roll a D12 for the defense. Single, he rolled a 6. That's a shortstop defense. He rolled a 2. There's an error. Shortstop is Bryson Scott. He's got nothing to help him. So there's an error on it. So that's going to get him to second on the error. So Vasquez moves over on the error. Okay, so Vasquez is going to stay right there. That's only the base runner. If there's a base runner, they move up. Diaz. Elvis Diaz is a righty. Bellotti is a righty, so he's at the D12 still. And rolls a 63, which is a productive out with 2, but that's a K for the second out. Chase McCormick's up now. It's another out, another K, and he's done. Bellotti's done. That brings in David Robinson next. So Javier's in for his last inning. So that's his D12. He's taking on Harper. So he stays at a D12. And Harper rolls a 9, which is a hit. C plus and K's ain't going to help any. He rolls a 1. That's going to be a single for Harper. So Javier's taking on Castellanos now, righty on righty, so he's going up to a D20. And Castellanos rolls a 8. That's a hit. Rolls a 5. That's a single. Let's check the defense of the third baseman. 5. No change. So he gets a single. Philly's got something going on here. So brings up Bohm now. 12 comes down. Brings up Bohm. 19. That's a hit. Philly's getting hot. 11. It's a single. Let's see. Is K plus. Okay, so nothing happened there. So he's got a single. Runners advance 2 bases. So Bohm's coming through the third time on base. Castellanos goes over to third, and Harper comes home for Philly's first run. Oh, Javier in a little trouble here. He's taking on a lefty, so that's going to be a 12. No outs. And that's an out there. That's 100. Possible triple play. He wrote an 8, so that's a F8. Nobody can move. So that's going to be a shallow fly ball to center field. Nobody's going to move up on that one. The higher you roll, the worse the result. So that's the first out. Castellanos cannot come home. Segura's up now. That's going to take it up to a D20, righty on righty. And that's another one, another out, 79. And that's a ground ball. He's going to get out of the inning because that's going to be a double play. That's going to be a, 1-6-3. Second. Third out. Javier gets out of the jam, and he's done. That's going to bring in Brian Abreu next. So Philly gets on the board with a run. It's 4-1 with 3 innings to go. Houston's up the bat. That brings in David Robinson now. He gets a D12. He's a righty. Righty on righty, so he's going up to a 20 against Altuve, who's been out, struck out twice, and hit into a ground ball. And that's another out. That's going to be a G3. Well, now Robinson's got nothing on him, so yeah, it's just going to be a ground ball to first base for the first out. Taking on a righty, so Pena's up now. That's a 46. That's out of his range at 8. That's a fly ball to center. Second out. Taking on a lefty, so he's going to go down. D12. And that's another out. That's going to be just a fly ball to right field. Astros go down 1-2-3 here in the 7th. And that's Robinson's only inning. Still 4-1. That brings in Brian Abreu now to face. He's a righty. He gets a D20 right off the bat. He had a low ERA under 2. And he is a righty and taking on Marsh. So stays there, so it's basically going to be a D20 the whole time. So, and that's a 3. Let's say he's got a K. He's got a K plus. That's going to probably be a strikeout. On the outs table, a 3 is a strikeout with a K plus. So that's a K for the first out on Marsh. Taking on Schwarber now. Schwarber rolls a 15. Let's see what the hit is. He gets a, it's going to be a, we're going to call it a 9. Call that a 9. So he got a hit. That's a single. But let's see. K plus. Doesn't matter there. But he's got P plus. That's +2. So he gets +2. So he wrote a 9, 10, 11. So it's still a single. Schwarber stays with a single. His second time on today. That brings on up Hoskins now. Hoskins rolls a 34, 36. That's over. That's an out. That's a K for the second out. And Realmuto now, who's been hot. Not this time. Another strikeout for the third out. And that's Abreu's only inning. So he's done. And we're going to go to the 8th now. Zach Eflin's in. He's a righty. He's got a D4. You see, he's a righty. And we're at Bregman, who's a righty. So he's going to go up to a D8 this time. So Bregman up. And that's an out. That's a strikeout. Bregman strikes out. Lefty going on a D4. Tucker now. And that's another out. Fly ball to center field. Second. And he's taking on Gurriel now. Goes up to the 8. That's another out. 70, 80 something. 7. That's a fly ball to left field for the third out. And he went 1 inning also. So he's done. Brad Hand comes in next. So we go to the bottom. Still 4-1. And we got Rafael Montero. And now he pitched 1 inning. He goes to a D12. He's a righty. Taking on a lefty, so he stays there. That's Harper again. And Harper's out this time with a 5-3. Put out. Castellanos is up now. And that's going to take him up to a 20 because righty on righty. Another out, 6-3 put out. Castellanos, Bohm's up now. 40-50 something. Bohm finally gets out for the day after going 3 for 3. That's a fly ball to left field. 1-2-3 for Montero. That was his only inning. Now Brad Hand comes in. He's a lefty. He starts out with D12, and he's taking on Vasquez. It's up here in the 9th inning. And he rolls a 1, and that's okay, 60-something. So Vasquez strikes out. First out. Diaz is up now. It's another, that's a fly ball to center field. Chase McCormick up now. Another out, that's a K. Brad Hand comes in for his inning, and if by chance Philly comes back here in the bottom, he'll stay in for at least an inning more. All right, so we're in the 9th. Presley's coming in. He's got a D12. That's what we got already. He's a righty, taking on a lefty. So 49, that's a strikeout for Scott. First out in the inning here. Philly in danger of going on 3-1. It's Gene Segura up now. So he's going to go up to a D20 now. Righty on righty. And that's an out 3. I think he's got K plus power. That's a strikeout for the second out. Presley taking on Marsh now. He goes down back to his D12. Presley. And that's another K. Presley comes in and strikes out the side to end the game. Houston wins 4-0.
Gameplay brought to you by Slash Deep Gaming Channel, where memories can be relived by the roll of the dice.
Is the end 4-1. And they're up 3-1. Philly in danger of losing the World Series when they go back. I believe that's in Philly still. It went 2-3. So that's game 4, everybody. Stay tuned for game 5.